Welcome to Subramani. I am doing this note on the Economist article about how India is faring under the right-wing Hindu fundamentalist Narendra Modi's BJP, right? So this is exactly how they call the current government, or what they call the current government. But surprisingly, this article of Economist has left out the word right wing, and maybe they realize that Narendra Modi is not as right wing as they wish he was. And fairly obvious, they have compared him to some world's tyrants. And okay, they start by saying India endured the its share of bad news and suffering. The pandemic killed between 2.2 million and 9.7 million people, that is about 10 crores. Could they have got the government figures? Yes. Would they have believed it? No. They normally don't believe government figures. And he said the largest internal migrations. Yes, of course, migration happened. There is no doubt about that. But then I don't see economists ever having done an article on the migration of the Kashmiri Pandits. So they choose which migration to talk about. So this migration they are talking about, and anti-Muslim chauvinism. This, I like the word anti-Muslim chauvinism, because they have shifted from anti-minority chauvinism to anti-Muslim chauvinism. So it's no longer anti-Christian, anti-Sikh. It is only anti-Muslim. So I don't know whether they will change the words next time, but well, this is what it is. And now they're almost blaming him for a heat wave in North India. Well, not so directly. And it says novel confluence of forces stand to transform the Indian economy over the next decade. Now, have they said that the Congress has did not open so many bank accounts? No. Have they said that nobody else did? Did they say that Manmohan Singh was in various capacities? He was in the finance ministry, he was RBI governor, then he became finance minister, and then they became prime minister. So over a 20-25 year period, Manmohan Singh did not push for so many accounts, and I can tell you all these guys were the ones who said so many accounts should not be opened, right? Including the Reserve Bank, powers that be, said so many accounts should not be opened. In fact, I have heard from Reserve Bank saying no new bank should be set up because hamara kaam bad jayega. I've actually heard them say that. Well, maybe new banks may not be set up, but new accounts are being opened. I'm not sure whether they're happy or no. A lot of the foreign media, and including many Indians, criticize the Aadhaar, and so therefore Economist very beautifully does not use the word Aadhaar, but it says I'll come to what they say about that word, but yeah, some electronic identification, but it is Aadhaar, right? So Aadhaar, opening Jan Dhan accounts, and the mobile, connecting the three, the jam. We have always been saying for the past so many days, we have been screaming that this is a fantastic combination. Along with this, you create 100 new medical colleges, you create 100 new airports, you create infrastructure. Obviously, things will happen. Now, it was so obvious, but how could you give credit to Modi for all this? So you have to give credit somewhere else. So Economist says all this was thought about long back. That's fantastic. I'm sure Swami Vivekananda thought about many of these things at India and said India will be a superpower, but somebody has to go and do it, right? Swami Vivekananda can't come back and take credit. I predicted this would happen. Yes, he's a great man. Yes, he predicted. But after his prediction, it's like a chairman of the company saying these things have to be achieved, but somebody has to go and actually implement it, right? So Narendra Modi can say so many roads should be made, but there has to be Mr. Gadkari who sits down and ensures that X kilometers of roads are made per day. There is to be Mr. Yogi who ensures that 20 colleges or 30 colleges are opened in UP. He has to ensure that land is acquired by the airport authorities, whoever is to set up the airport, and 100 new airports are set up all over the country. Somebody else should do it. It's easy to sit and say, oh, somebody thought about it long back, right? So that's another amazing thing. Technological leaps, energy transition, and the geopolitical shifts are creating new opportunities, new tools to fix intractable problems. The biggest threat is India's politics, right? Since India opened up, India has prompted both euphoria and despair. We have all gone through that. 1 year we think, oh, India is going to have a fantastic growth. Next year we are worried that this may not happen. Something else might happen, right? So Again, so why Vodafone and other knave multinationals are fleeced? Multinationals, knave, fleeced, very nice words, but why is Vodafone still there in India? There is always talk of Vodafone will leave India and go. Vodafone has not left India and gone, right? None of these MNCs have gone. In fact, the MNCs who have gone have regretted. I'm sure Fidelity is not happy with the decision of leaving India, nor is Goldman Sachs, nor is Morgan Stanley. They all shut down their mutual fund business. One day they will come back. Maybe they will acquire stake in one of the running mutual funds because a stake is available, right? There are 45 mutual funds. Some of them will need money, so therefore these guys might come back. Well, this is Economist's view, and it has been overshadowed by a sense of disappointment. It has not engineered the manufacturing surge. India will not grow as big as South Korea or China. That's what they say. But fragmented markets and informal firms create new jobs and few good jobs. Very good. As the country emerges from the pandemic, however, a new pattern of growth is visible. By the way, we've reached 100 unicorns, right? That's not something small. It is Indian brain. It is Indian opportunity, it is opportunity abroad, it is Indian money, and it is American money, right? It is not in spite of American money or in spite of Indian brain. We don't need that, and money flows to the market where it is respected. So if this guy says Vodafone is not treated well, so many $1 million wouldn't have come into our startups, right? Unicorns would not have been funded so much by the soft banks of the world. Yes, we need a lot more to be done. Our legal system has to change, our company law has to change. There have to be more instruments. Today, I don't think I can start a company and take it to the size of Facebook and still have a meaningful stake. I just can't, because we don't have Class B shares, Class C shares, Class D shares. We don't have DVRs. Forget those DVRs which are already there. Fresh DVRs are not coming, right? So it's not easy. So a lot of changes are required. Along with this, global trends are creating bigger business clusters. Of course, global opportunities are needed even for big countries like India. But where are you going to find so many engineers? Where are you going to find so many people willing to work for $1 a day? Right, that's the kind of money which the labor in India is available. May not be $1, maybe $3 a day, $4 a day, but yes, people are available. Low end labor, yes, but is available. Eminently trainable labor is available. Recently, a friend of mine is recruiting 5-6 fresh graduates in his company just to train them and make them dealers, right? So he says, I don't need all MBAs. I need some fresh, smart graduates who can be with me for 3-4 years, and I'll make them dealers, right? So these things are happening. People are available. Educated people, yes. Your IITs, IIMs, yes. Next round of MBA colleges, yes. Fresh graduates, yes. They are available. They are trainable. They all have basic knowledge of English. So that's an access which is available. Hello, economists. People are available and people are willing to work, right? It has turbocharged India's third largest startup scene after America and China. I don't know whether this is said very happily or said very sadly. Along with that, global trends are creating other clusters. I said that the renewable energies investment spree. India ranks third for solar installations and is pioneering green hydrogen. You see a lot of YouTube videos about this by Mr. Nitin Gadkari. So please go and have a look at green hydrogen. I don't know what it means, but yes, he has spoken about that. India's attraction as a manufacturing location have arisen, helped by a $26 billion subsidy scheme. Yes, the PLI scheme is what they are talking about. India has also worked around to redistribute more to ordinary folk. I think the greatest thing is money going directly to the poorest of the poor, and that's an amazing thing. It is completely free of friction. There is no postman who asks for a Diwali bakshish or anything. Just money goes directly to the lowest end, not through a politician, not through somebody rubbing their hands and saying, please give it to me. Completely free of any friction, money is reaching them. These changes not only will lead to a manufacturing boom, but they may not solve deep problems as extreme weather or clogged courts. Clogged courts can be solved if more and more of us write our own will and take care of our basic legal requirement. We will not have so many new cases piling up. Growth generates more wealth to invest in the country's human capital, that is hospitals and schools. We are setting up so many schools and colleges and medical colleges. Chance has played, and look at this, he does not want to give any credit to Modi. He says chance has played a big role. India did not create this split, Sino-American split or the cloud, but benefits from both. fairly obvious. India did not discover the electricity. Now next is they will say, oh, India did not discover electricity, but they're benefiting by electricity. Of course we are benefiting by electricity. We are benefiting even by your aircrafts, right? So America makes aircrafts and India is benefited by your aircraft. So does Economist want to give that credit to US? So be it. Mr. Modi's government has got a lot right. This is perhaps the only statement which he says favoring the Modi government. It has backed the tech stack and direct welfare and persevered with the painful task of shrinking the informal economy. It has found pragmatic fixes. Central government purchases of solar power has kick-started the renewables. Yes, nice things. The danger is over the next decade, this dominance hardens into autocracy. One risk is BJP's abhorrent hostility towards Muslim. Give me a break, Economist. Whenever you walk into a big tech company, whatever, whether it is a Google or a Facebook or any Indian company, believe me, nobody asks for what is your religion, what is your caste, are you wearing a janoi, are you a Hindu, are you a Brahmin, are you a Muslim, are you a Christian? No. Urban India is killing all those discriminations. It is just not happening. So I can address a group where there is a young woman, there are old women, there are women who smoke, men who don't smoke, all caste, creed, color, everything is visible there. I don't see them mixing. I don't see them hating each other or forming groups and saying, oh, we will not, you are from a different caste. I don't see that happening. Economists, please don't make us believe that India is only with yes, something could be happening, some Hanuman procession attack, some Eid procession attack or something like that. I'm not getting into that. Please don't push us into saying only that is happening. That is nonsensical. The quality of decision making could also deteriorate. Is that so? Prickly and vindictive. The government also co-opted the bureaucracy to bully the press and the courts. Is that so? I see the kind of freedom to the press. I do not know how many of you know, but Scroll is not owned by an Indian. Not only by not just a non-resident Indian, but just not an Indian, right? So all these the laundry, right? All those things, not owned by Indians. At least P Gurus, for example, is owned by a non-resident Indian. So at least that is there. So the press, anybody can, it's not easy for anybody to set up a newspaper in India, but anybody can set up a blog. I mean, my YouTube channel is not registered with the government, so I can say whatever I want, right? So all this is press freedom, gentlemen. So please remember, because some Indian journalists will say, oh, only Economist can do an article like this. No Indian company or Indians can write an article like this. Give me a break. Nobody ever calls up and says you should not say this about Modi, right? So I may have strong views either way, but nobody has ever called and said aisa mat bolo, vaisa mat bolo. So this is wrong. Seizing the moment. For India to grow at 7 or 8% would be momentous. I'm not sure whether India will grow or India will not grow, but India has learned one thing, that when you say foreign press, you mean BBC, CNN, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, all that. Well, great, fantastic, you're all good, but I think India ka hamara time bhi aa gaya, and we will create our own economies. We will do well. And thank you, Economist. One line at least you said, Modi has got something right. So thank you.